Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Hey there, good morning to you. It is August 27, 2024, and 70 days or 71 days, who's counting, till the election. And my sister Susan, we think on the line. We're not real sure, so let's see, Suze, if I can get you in here. I got you up here a million places. Let me see. Geez. Are you there? No. I don't know how to. Oh, there you are. There you are. Hello?
Hello. Now I'm there. Okay.
Jeez.
I'm there.
I've got you having called in about 20 times here. Okay, I'm afraid to even delete
I called
those.
3 times.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you what happened, just so you know. This is a learning experience. The first time I called, it said Lynn Cullen was not available. and I thought, that's a message on this thing? And then the second time, it didn't even ring, which is when I texted you. And the third time, I got on. Okay, so that's what happened.
Well, that's not good. I don't know what to do about that, but I'll check with certain sources who also won't know what to do about it. But okay. Well, thank you for that, Susan.
Itself, so okay.
Okay, and we should say Susan, I believe, is it's very early for her. You're in Santa Fe, right?
I am in Santa Fe at what I have decided has to be the nicest setup for any person to ever visit anywhere. My friend, leaves me a robe, a bag, a bag of Oreos, a container of candy bars, a big tin can of oxygen for the altitude.
Dear God in heaven. How high is Santa Fe? I mean, wait a minute. How high?
Santa Fe is very high.
What?
Santa Fe is very high, and you get altitude. Sure, we're in the mountains, at the top of them.
Yeah, but is it higher than Denver? Somebody check out the altitude.
Not, but it's very high, and you do get altitude sickness here. They have oxygen bars here. So,
Mord wants to know if you're opening up a restaurant in Santa Fe. No. No.
Why would I be opening a restaurant?
I don't know. I think he's got a place you can rent. I don't quite understand, but well, I've having been at 14,000 feet myself. Whatever you're at doesn't seem like much to me. God, I'll tell you, at 14,000 feet, you're really, that's altitude sickness. God, I can still remember it. That's anyone want it? La Paz,
7,199 feet above sea level.
7,000. Okay, so that's it's higher than Denver, huh? Okay.
Mm.
Well, I doubled it in La Paz, Bolivia, and let me tell you, that is, oh boy, oxygen. You go to the hotel and they put an oxygen tank in your room. Mort says
that's pretty much what she does.
Yeah.
She's so terrified that I'll get sick and something will happen to me, which is also an annual affair here.
Oh dear. Well, I hope not. I get it. So Mord says, in reference to, is she opening up a restaurant in Santa Fe, that's a song from the musical Rent.
Oh.
Which I've never seen.
Well, I've seen Rent, but I don't. I have seen it, but I don't know the. I can't. It was long ago, and I can't remember.
I know all the musicals from the 50s and 60s.
We got Rodgers and Hammerstein and Lerner and Lowe down Cole.
And Cole Porter. I got all those, and I want to say
Cole Porter,
those are the best. I'm sorry, those are the greats. No, I'm not dissing Stephen Sondheim, but whoa, just whoa. Cole Porter, hard to beat. Just saying. All right, well, Suze,
Yes.
you're in another battleground state, and oh no, you're not. New Mexico. I was having you in Arizona, but next door in
No, I'm in New
Arizona.
Mexico.
Is Arizona next door to New Mexico? I think so.
Yeah, there's Four Corners.
Yeah.
We're in the Four Corners.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Arizona, I just want to point this out because I happen to see it, that a police association in Arizona
Yeah.
that had endorsed Donald Trump last time around has now endorsed the Senate candidate for the Democrats, Ruben Gallego.
Yay.
That's big. That's big.
You know, it's hard to believe that Carrie Lake even has a chance, but
I don't think
my
she
good
does.
friend Iris is working very hard for Ruben.
Yeah, well, I think that alone, a police association that had endorsed Trump, not endorsing Lake and endorsing the Democrat, that who is supposedly like really, really, left, that is incredible.
Yes, I'll see you that one, and then I'll refer you to the police action in southern Texas yesterday, where they raided a bunch of Hispanic activist homes, not in any bad way, just electoral activists.
No.
They raided their homes.
They are people who, it is beyond belief. You read that story, and it is
beyond belief. These are old women. I mean, they're doing it again.
It's as chilling a story as has come out recently in terms of what these Republicans are now. Flat out thuggish, brown shirt, Gestapo-like fascists. It is as simple as that.
Perfect description.
They actually broke the door down on one person. This is in the early hours of the morning.
Early mornings.
Women
These
as
are women
old
in their 70s and 80s.
Yeah, women as old as 80 years old. These are office holders. One is a mayor.
Demanding their cell phones.
They took them. Yeah. They took their cell phones. They took computers. They have not been able to get their cell phones back. They were standing outside in their nightgowns and pajamas while neighbors looked on in horror. Unbelievable. And it has nothing to do with anything other than an attempt to intimidate the Latin American Democrat vote.
It's pure intimidation. Yeah, it's pure intimidation. We will come after you. We will jail you. We will deport. They were threatening them with all of these things.
I know. So the Justice Department, I got to tell you, hello, Merrick Garland. Merrick, here is an immediate case you bring against these bastards.
And then when you're at it, would you please get someone in the IRS to charge Clarence Thomas with tax evasion?
There you go. While you're at it. You do have to feel
you're at it.
You do have to feel for Merrick Garland, because stop and think of all.
He can't possibly file all of these cases.
He can't keep up. And he has now a case going to a appellate court about whether he has the power to appoint special prosecutors, or anybody for that matter. And that's thanks to the Trumper judge, Eileen Cannon. It is beyond belief. God. Says here that this son of a bitch, his name is Paxson, right? In the Attorney General of Texas,
Paxson,
who managed not to be convicted.
Yeah.
He was impeached, but not convicted because his fellow fascists saved him in the Texas Senate. But he has been relentless in going after Democrats. And he makes up out of whole cloth election fraud cases. He threatens people. He loses almost all of the cases. It doesn't matter. He's ruined people's lives. it doesn't matter.
And he's one of those state's attorney generals that keeps challenging all the federal stuff, like Missouri.
Oh my
Bringing cases right and left. And they don't care if they lose them, and they're wasting their state taxpayers' money. And now they're actually, going after their own state citizens.
You know who one of the...
It's so appalling.
It is amazing. One of the people was the Democratic Party's nominee for a Texas House seat, legislative, the Texas legislature in Austin, was the Democratic nominee. And she is running in a district that the Democrats are thinking they might be able to flip, in part because the Republican one running is the former mayor of Uvalde,
Right.
a place we might recall. And the front door of her political consultant, Manuel Medina, was broken down last week in another early morning raid. It's beyond belief. It's beyond belief. And was it the Robert Supreme Court that a few years ago knocked down most of the Voting Rights Act, saying there's no problem anymore?
Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah.
I don't see any more problems with voting here. They say it's a height of the election interference.
Oh my God, it's beyond belief. Okay, so good news on the legal front. The Democrats have sued the Georgia Election Board, trying to take care of that obvious attempt to screw up the presidential election count in Georgia.
You mean that little law they passed that says that anyone that works in an election office can refuse to certify?
Well, they can, not that they refuse, they can say, I had a dream that something went awry. I think we need to look into that before we certify. When state law had made clear it was not something they had any right to muck with. It was what's called a ministerial duty. It's just for show. It
didn't give any power. It gave no power. No.
So, but here's the thing. Depending on the judges, here's why we're finally reaping what Trump and what's his name? McConnell sowed with their putting all of these horrible humans in our federal courts, including the Supreme Court. And so you have now a judge who has immediately signed off on the 16 Republican states who brought a case against the Biden administration's intent to allow a path to legal status in the country for people married to Americans. And a judge has said, he agrees with the 16 Republican states that brought the case. I think we better look at that. And of course, this is a Trump. They put all of these cases in Texas.
Yeah, of course.
Unbelievable. And I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's go back to the good news.
What?
Kamala Harris.
Oh, wasn't she something, Suze? I haven't talked to you since the last night of the
convention. I know. Yeah. No, it was. I'll just say that I laughed and I cried and I cheered all the way through every single day.
Yeah. Me too.
And I'm vaguely bereft because now there's really no good TV on.
I know. I said the same thing on Friday night. I found myself staring at the television thinking, well, now what am I supposed to do? Yeah, amazing.
And and for everybody out there that does public speaking, I think we learned a really important lesson. And that's that 10 minutes makes a really good, punchy speech. And that's about as much as anybody wants to take in, and leaves you feeling, like you heard something, you retained something, and then it was over. That's why that progression of shorter speeches works so well. And during the big keynotes every night, I did find myself going, I like the short ones better.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, and anyone who has percolated in working in television, where at most you might have 2 minutes to do what you need to do,
Right.
and by the fact that Americans have, we know, an increasingly shorter and shorter attention span, it is insanity to go longer than whatever, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
It also makes for an easier delivery, because I guarantee you, if you have ever any memory of sitting in lectures, or as an adult you continue to go to lectures, listening to someone who is speaking to you without reading is far more understandable than listening to someone read to you for an hour.
Yeah.
It's just, and the longer your speech gets, I don't care if the teleprompter is right in front of you so it looks like you aren't reading. The tone and delivery changes.
Right, of course. It's not normal speech. Right.
It's not normal speech. And for all good reasons, not due to our attention span, to get a message across, speak less and speak clearer.
Yeah.
And say what you mean.
Exactly. Well, it's something I know. It's beyond belief to me that the pals haven't figured it out. But I was saying yesterday, Susan, that unless you literally can use a cattle prod to get some of these people off the stage, they just are incapable of it. And anytime you allow someone to stand in front of an open mic and there's no way to get them off, you're in trouble, because people go on and on and on. That's the nature of the beast, which is why I don't know.
Well, and furthermore, it's like Billy Clinton. I mean, he just can't leave.
No, he can't. And he went way too long on his speech again.
He did. He did not stick to 10 minutes, and I stopped listening.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to point out another thing that probably, again, the news cycle is like a daily tsunami. And so many things that we really should be paying attention to get lost. And I just wanted to note another jurisdiction where Republicans go to ensure their victory legally is Louisiana. The court there is starting to, the appeals court there is starting to rival Texas. It is flat out all in MAGA. So that court ruled, I think it was, I don't know, last week at some point, that the Environmental Protection Agency is barred from using the civil rights law, federal civil rights law, to prevent the state, Louisiana, from putting more and more polluting facilities in minority communities. Stop and think about that. So, I mean, it is, you can quantify it, you can smell it and see it. They keep putting these polluting facilities in Black and poor neighborhoods. And the 1964 Civil Rights Act actually allows the EPA to investigate whether state programs that are receiving federal money are discriminating. Well, this is obvious discrimination, but this judge said, no, and he said you can't do it. It says the ruling applies only to Louisiana, although you can betcha a whole bunch of other red states are going to now feel like, oh,
yeah.
boy. And in fact, a few months ago, 23 Republican attorneys general petitioned the EPA to stop taking race into account when regulating pollution. And then, of course, you have the Roberts Court eviscerating the EPA and other regulatory agencies' powers in other ways. You know, they might be a minority party. They are a minority party, but they have accrued extraordinary power and often untouchable power because it's in life tenured judicial positions. It's really something.
Yes, they've been playing the long game, and they've been winning the long game.
As they do. As they do. So, can I just, we're thinking while we're talking about, about elections. I want to talk about the importance of us, the Democrats, having such a huge, huge turnout that we not only put Kamala Harris in the White House, but of course, we take the House of Representatives back and have Hakeem Jeffries as the Speaker of the House. And here is the cherry on top that I don't think anybody thinks is a possibility, but that we take the Senate as well.
The Senate too, yeah.
But the odds of that happening, to be honest, are not great. And the reason is, let me find it here, because it's if you look at the numbers, it's daunting. It's not impossible, but it's daunting. And we need to put a whole bunch of our energies and our money in these senatorial races.
Right, places like Missouri and Arizona and Wisconsin,
Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Montana with John Tester. These are places, and because Joe Manchin, gave up his seat, that's a Democratic seat that will go Republican. There is no doubt about it. So here's the reality. There are only 11 seats currently held by Republicans that are up in this election. Only 11. Democrats have, I forget, it's more than twice that. So we are trying to protect a whole bunch of seats. We've obviously failed already in West Virginia. Republicans, if they retain all of their incumbents, those 11, and that's expected, then all they have to do is flip one state, and they will have tied the Senate. Now, given that I think Tim Walz will be the vice president, let us hope, that still doesn't
give
it to him. Yeah.
Right.
But that means all the Republicans have to do is flip 2 seats. And they will
But they have to keep all 11. And
Those
Carrie Lake
11
will
are
be
expected.
one of.
They're expected, Suze. And if you look at them, you'll say, oh.
Yeah. Well, it's as much as I want to think that no one would reelect to Josh Hawley. He's probably.
Well, but Susan, what are the odds?
Win.
What are the odds? What have you seen
polling? He's not gonna. He's gonna retain his seat. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. He is. There you go.
In spite of all the money that I keep sending to the other guy.
See, you don't even know his name. That is, yeah.
No, I do know his name. It's Kunce. Kuntz.
Kuntz. Two names I can't pronounce.
Jason.
Hawley and Kuntz.
Yeah.
I'm looking for this. Damn it. I'm looking for this stuff I have on the races. Here they are. Because I just want to, can if you don't mind, and I hope you're not bored by this, I just want to quickly run some of them down for you so you understand. As I said, we've lost West Virginia. The amount of money, by the way, being thrown at these races is historic and mind-boggling. Okay. Kirsten Sinema. She generally voted with Democrats. Who the hell knows? But her seat is open. And that's the Carrie Lake Gallego race. Let us hope. Arizona's an odd state politically. Here's a scary one. Wide open again because of the fact that Democratic Senator Debbie Stabenow stepped down. I'd like to know why. She better have a pretty good reason, because she's opened up a Michigan senatorial seat. And there are two people nobody knows. Well, actually, I know the Republican more than the Democrat. Mike Rogers is the Republican. He's a congressman. He was an FBI agent. And he's running against a woman named Elisa Slotkin. And she was a national security official. Who knows? The feeling there is, since statewide not much is known of either of these two, that it'll depend on how well Kamala performs and if she's got coattails to take Slotkin with her. So and that's one we got to win. There's Tammy Baldwin, as we know, Susan, in Wisconsin. She is an incumbent. And she's running against one of these carpetbagging gazillionaires, and I think she's going to win, right? It's looking good. John Tester in Montana, that's scary as holy hell, but he keeps winning in this totally red state. By the way, they say he's a third-generation dirt farmer. Will someone explain to me what that term means? Because
we need more dirt.
No, but it's not like he takes dirt to market. So wait, what does that phrase mean?
I think it's I'm hoping that it's synonymous with truck farmer, which is vegetables.
Well, then why don't they say a vegetable farmer instead of a dirt farmer?
I don't know. I'm just making, you know me.
Also, total red state now, Ohio, and Sherrod Brown. Like Tester, for some reason, these Republicans who vote all Republican in Montana and Ohio vote for Tester and Brown. Will they this year? They have to. And again, Brown's running against...
a dirt farmer, let me interrupt. A dirt farmer is a subsistence farmer, a farmer with no hired hands.
Oh,
a farmer with little to no formal training, such that their poor harvest consists largely of empty dirt. So basically, what they're saying is he's saying I was poor and no good at it.
Oh, for God's sake. Okay, just quickly ticking down our races. Pennsylvania, it's looking pretty good here, Susan, with Bob
Good.
Casey running against another gazillionaire who doesn't really live here. Although he
I
bought,
think people are getting, like, ugh.
yeah, he bought a house near me. It's almost like across from Tree of Life, and I know someone who knows his next door neighbor who says it's empty. There's nobody there. Oh, and another scary one is,
well, these guys just lie about where they live.
I know, like RFK Jr. said he lived in
who rents a room from a friend.
Well, the other scary one, guys, is Nevada. We've got a first term, oh no, I guess she's second term, woman, Jackie Rosen, is the Democratic incumbent, but she's in a tough race against a veteran from Afghanistan who was severely burned in a bomb explosion there. His face is all scarred. He wears it, and I'll credit him proudly. But he is not anyone. He's a Trumper. So there you have it. It's just scary. So we need all of those states I've just mentioned. And we can dream about Florida and Texas, but I don't think that's possible. Although, again, if it's some kind of a
Beto's working so hard.
Beto, he's not even running.
Turning it.
He's not running.
He's working for the I know he's working for the candidates that are running.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about, Milton says to find a dirt farmer, but yeah, Milton, Susan got there before you this time. The debate, you think it's going to happen?
Well, I just think it's funny that Trump's trying to make it look like it's Kamala that doesn't want to debate.
Well,
I'm just hoping that she shows up anyway and says, "Let's ask me some questions."
No, I think he'll show. I do think his only way out is saying they can't agree on specifics or something. But I think that is so risky for him not to show.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
I find the fascinating thing, the fact that they're tussling over whether or not the mics should be hot, and the way it was agreed on when Biden was the candidate. We saw that the mics get turned off when they're done speaking, so they can't be interrupting while the other one's speaking. It's Harris who has asked for a change in that.
Yeah, as well she should. She should just let him do what he does and then say when it's her turn, so you can see for yourself how he treats women.
Or treats anybody.
But it's more, there you have it. Is that what you want?
Because
I think she should just let him go.
Yeah, but I don't think ABC will agree to that, just because the agreement was that they're turned off.
Right.
And my understanding is his people want it turned off so that he doesn't, hurt himself.
Do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem is that because the mics are off doesn't mean that he necessarily stops talking.
Well, that's true.
So it makes it very difficult for her to concentrate and sound good.
Mm-hmm.
And even if that's the situation, I would stop talking and say, "Donald, it's my turn." You know, I would let everybody know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I would think that is,
I would just act like, like a frazzled nanny who is trying to keep her toddler in hand and letting everybody know that she's handling it. It's okay. And just keep exposing him.
Yeah.
It rattles him and it underlines it.
I was having dinner with people last night, and one of them said, if Hillary, and it's amazing she didn't, had just turned around when he was stalking her while she was speaking and said, "What the hell are you doing?" Right?
Right. Get back to your podium. I mean, she should have, it made her look weak that she was standing around in that case. She should have engaged.
But because, let's be clear, because she was a woman running for an office no woman had held before, she probably was, just like Obama was loath to express anger. You don't want to be the angry black man and scare all those white folks.
Right. And
the
you
woman,
don't want to be the bitchy white woman.
That's right. Now, I don't think any of that applies anymore. I just don't. I think most people have just moved beyond it. But that could be because we're living in our bubbles. And there's plenty of people who have not moved beyond it. Let's be clear. Yeah.
Well, let's be clear about how the majority of women in this country are feeling. It started back when Hillary won the popular vote, and I was excited about having a woman president, even if it were Hillary Clinton. I was excited, and that's part of this pent up energy. The women of this country are ready to have a woman represent us as president and take our issues seriously. And if those people think that there's no reaction to taking away people's constitutional rights, they've got another thing coming. I think they have so totally underestimated how women, the majority of women, and a lot of the men in this country feel about their willingness to take away people's constitutional rights.
Yeah. Hey, let me get some callers in. I just noticed.
You forgot to look. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, please. Hello.
Yeah, they all could be me. Hello.
Hello.
They all could be me. I called, hug up, call back.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I don't think they're all.
Yeah, but anyway. No, they probably aren't. My original call was about the senatorial elections, for the Senate.
Yes. Yeah.
And it gave me a flashback to 2008 when I was like inside. I was like working with people working for the Obama campaign, and one of the young ladies was all upset, thinking, I said, well, Obama's definitely going to win, and we'll take both the House and the Senate. And common wisdom was that we wouldn't take the Senate. So no, we'll take the House and the Senate. And I think it's going to go this way too, this time too. And here's why. Well, first I'll mention Judge Ledick, who endorsed, who said he'll vote for. He's not endorsing Kamala Harris. And then there's a whole group of like 200 former lawyers and workers for Republicans.
They're starting to come. They're starting to show up. These people, right?
They're showing up big time. Yeah. And then you take, like, I think two of the senatorial candidates that you mentioned. I think one was from Michigan and the other was some Western country that I forget, was it Wyoming or something like that? Yeah. Where the guy was
Montana, John Tester, the dirt farmer.
Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're both running against women.
No, he's not. He's not.
No, not he. But the one who was a vet. You said, but I think his opponent was a woman.
Yeah, that's Nevada.
Yes.
Nevada.
Yes, Nevada. Yeah. So right there, those two, I think, are senators, just because of what you were just saying about women want more representation, and men who want women to have more representation. There was a lot of people, and I said this on my Facebook page, who are going to vote for Kamala Harris and never admit it ever to their, their racist uncle and grandfather.
I think that's true,
but they're going to do it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, they're going to act MAGA. Yeah. They're going to be carpet MAGAs.
Yeah.
That's a new term. Let me make note of that.
Yeah,
And
but you're right.
So I think they'll get both the House and the Senate. I really do. And
your mouth's to God's ear.
Yeah.
Well, God tends to ignore me a lot, but you know.
Well,
I know, me too.
You ignore him or her a lot too.
But I think the feeling I get is that, especially with all these Republicans, I mean, top tier Republicans, giving people excuse to, vote for Kamala, and I think they're right about the whole, country above party thing. And I think a lot of people, especially if they have a debate, or and you get to see more of what Trump's doing, are going to vote straight, Democrat.
Well, I
hope so.
I hope so. I hope so, Clarence. But and I agree that in the quiet and privacy of the voting booth, I think a lot of people are, who are afraid in their environment because they're living in MAGA land, will vote for her. I do think that.
Yeah, and like I said, and they will never admit it. They'll never admit it. They'll keep playing, playing the game. So.
Well, let's
hope.
I
can ramble, so I'm going to stop myself.
Okay.
My 10 minutes up.
Yes.
I get boring after 10 minutes.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Good to hear from
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now we do have another caller, I believe, if they're still there. Yeah, go ahead, please.
I hope Clarence is right. His reasoning makes sense, and I tend to agree with the reasons he gave. But after 2016, nothing surprises me anymore.
Yeah, well, right,
but,
right.
Yeah, we have to not only believe it, we have to work to make sure it comes true.
Yeah.
I like us better when we're running scared. We need to run scared, and there's a little too much. Yeah.
I agree. I originally called because when you're talking about how we need to keep our speeches shorter, which I completely agree, because when you have a run-on sentence or a long email or long text, people don't read them, and they tune out because, like you said, we have a very short attention span. Get to the point, make your point well, and then move on. But how come this asshole can go on for a couple of hours and people are raptured?
They're not.
Well, I think they're not. They aren't. They're leaving.
People who attend say you can see them. They're bored. They go because of the community they have formed. I don't even know that it has as much to do about him, but they're leaving too. They leave after about an hour, I think. I've seen lots of articles like that.
Oh God. All right. I hope it hurts him. I keep saying this. I don't know how he could have any more supporters. He's had to have detracted them, lost people over the past 8 years. So common sense tells me, Kamala is going to win, but I'm just paranoid. But so, like, when you're talking about what's going on in Texas, where they're raiding these Latinos' homes and everything, I've been watching a lot of documentaries about like the rise of Hitler, what Stalin did after World War II, and the thing about Albert Einstein, while he never returned to Germany, would never forgive the Germans for voting Hitler in. It just, all of this is history repeating itself to me, and we have a neighbor on our street. We have a very nice street, dead end, level. People walk their dogs and children everywhere. And he had a "fuck Joe Biden" bumper sticker on the back of his truck. And they seem to not hold up for a very long time for whatever reason. Well, as soon as that she became in the race, it became "fuck Kamala Harris." And I don't see the purpose of it. And this guy is actually, you think he's a nice guy.
Well, sure. I understand that.
So finally, I mean, he went on vacation. He parked his truck right in front of this house with 6 little kids in it
Oh, for
that lived
God's
there.
sake. No.
And so that was like
the part
final.
that I can't stand. Yeah.
It's like so I that was the final straw. So I wrote a letter, put it under his windshield, and I said, "Dear neighbor, I hope you read this with an open mind and an awareness of the impact all of us have on our children. Please remove any stickers and signs with vulgarities on your vehicles and other property. Regardless of political persuasion, there is no reason for anyone to expose others in a civilized society to profanity on your rear window. Many children walk past your truck, some who are just learning to read. Unfortunately, fuck is the easiest for new readers to sound out loud. The people don't want their children to learn this from the back of your truck. They'll learn it soon enough from older children. As an adult, you should know this and try to be a better example. Pittsburgh is the proud city of Fred Rogers, who loved children and wanted only the best for them. What would Mr. Rogers think of the declaration on your truck?
Oh, you went
This
there.
is not a this is not a First Amendment issue. It's a decency issue. Please remove the sticker. And I'm going to see where this goes. I'm going to go about 10
I will
days.
too. But I've said that there's a guy that's had the sign with Trump giving the middle finger of both hands to everybody, saying, I don't give a fuck about what you think or what you feel. And he's had that sign in his front yard, and there's frequently like a 6-year-old sized bicycle lying right next to the sign, and it's in a neighborhood where kids walk by it all the time to get to the Catholic school 1 block away.
Well,
and I can't believe that his neighbors haven't trashed that yet.
Roger, when did you? How long has it been since you put that on his truck? The letter.
This morning.
Okay.
Oh, it's this morning.
We'll be curious. I thought it was very well written, if not a little long, but I think I would like to know. You report back if you.
Tell us what happened.
If you see anything.
Oh, I will. Here's the irony of all, similar to what Susan was just saying. The 6 kids who live in that house. I mean, they're a very Catholic family. They homeschool the kids. The mom, she's like, I don't know where she gets her energy, and they're amazing people. And I'm not a big Catholic fan, but these people are wonderful. She homeschools the kids because they want to protect them from the outside world, and they're the guys.
There you go.
And he parks his truck right in front of her.
There you go. All right, you. Hey, I got another caller. I've got another caller. Thank you. That's great. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Like the letter. Great.
Report back. All righty. Let's go to our next caller here. Hello. Hi. Hello? Go ahead. Mm-hmm. You're on. You are on. Hello. Hang on.
No. Hey, Lynn, Susan, it's Mike in Highland Park.
Hi, Mike.
How are you? So I didn't hear the beginning of the show, so I may be repeating what you've already said, but yeah, Harris is doing well, and it drives me crazy when people call her Kamala, but they call him Donald. I mean, they call him Trump, so I'm referring to her as Harris.
Okay.
Harris is doing well, but I don't think as a culture we can underestimate, can't believe I'm saying this to 2 women, the role misogyny plays in this.
Okay.
No, you don't have to convince us.
No.
Right. So there are men with mommy issues who do not like to be controlled by a woman, and there's no undoing that.
Yeah.
So, there are those of us who see that for what it is, misogyny, but a large portion of the population didn't vote for Hillary simply because she was a woman. They can say they don't like her. They can say, it's the 3rd term for Clinton, whatever. But misogyny is rearing its ugly head every time someone calls her Kamala instead of Harris.
No,
I agree. I agree. No.
I
It's
call her
it's a
Kamala.
subtle little put. I know, but it usually we do call the candidates in shortened form by their last name, and women, as a put down, have frequently in the same position not been accorded the respect of the last name.
Okay.
You call them by their first name because
Okay.
they're lesser.
Well, it's a good point then.
And
It
we
is.
are all just falling into that trap. I agree. Take her seriously. Call her Harris.
Okay. That's
And
a
then
good
you don't
point,
have to
Mike.
worry whether you have a Midwestern accent and call her Kamala by accident. Kamala.
Right. And I love how her nieces made the audience
Uh-huh.
do comma.
Kamala. Yeah, weren't they cute?
Oh
And
my
that
And the
beautiful
subtle
picture
dig
of the
is-
niece. Yeah. From the
In the
did you
subtle
see the
dig
picture?
is even a kid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
In the subtle dig is even a kid can get this right, Donald.
Yes. But there was also the beautiful picture of one of those nieces from the behind listening to, sitting erect listening to her aunt deliver the address. I mean, what a feeling that must be for those little girls.
Yeah. Hey, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
This now that I'm controlling the show, you might not know that, but I run the board and all this stuff. I'm looking and it
God
tells
help us all.
mostly I've been doing okay.
She's doing okay. I'm very proud of her.
Although yesterday I started the show and was going gangbusters for about 3 minutes and realized my microphone was off. And somebody pointed out with amusement that my audience hung in there because you can see how many people are on. They just stayed thinking, geez, she'll figure it out. And then, they stayed throughout waiting for me to figure it out. But one of the things it tells me is you have not called since November of 2022.
Oh, you with the Jewish guilt here. You couldn't just say it's good to hear from you?
I
had to be
did.
guilty.
2022. Thank you.
Oy vey.
Yeah,
Lynn, give
well,
a guy
all
a break.
It's anyway, it's very.
So you couldn't call.
Yeah, couldn't call. Right. But it's wonderful to hear your voice and the point you made. Even though I was resistant initially,
agree with.
is well taken. I think. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go Harris.
Yeah.
Go Harris. Thanks, Mike. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Right. The ways that we put down women are so ingrained in our culture that women don't recognize.
Yeah. Subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Beth has a. I have to get this. I have 2 recommendations for Susan while in Santa Fe: Geronimo's and Maria's New Mexican Kitchen. Total locals places, not fancy. And one of the largest tequila selections in town. Just saying. Okay, just.
Right. I know them both. Yes.
Okay. And Chuck writes, there are 70 days left until the election, and there is no doubt the Trumpers will turn to the judicial system, yes, to help them win. The Republicans are feeling the pressure.
Well, that's part of what,
The Republicans are feeling the pressure of an election win slipping through their fingers. In every swing state or state that is in play, every county is under the GOP microscope, and all of those Trump-appointed judges are willing and able to cooperate with challenges to mail-in voting, Democratic registration efforts, and voter rolls. It may not matter that the Democrats turn out in huge numbers if the Republicans can successfully tie up the election in the courts. I would encourage, Chuck says, everyone to contact either the Pennsylvania Democratic Party, the Allegheny County Democratic Committee, Pittsburgh's 14th Ward, anybody, and ask them if you can do something. The last day to register is October 21. That's here in Pennsylvania. And last day to request a mail-in ballot, October 29. That's all good information, Chuck, and I thank you very much for it. Yeah, no, it's I was reading that, the Democrats are not necessarily asleep at the switch in regard to this concern that you have. And they do have a much bigger team of attorneys, and I'm sure a ton of volunteers who are on this. Let's hope. But as we said, Trump and McConnell have polluted our judiciary so that there are not neutral judges in a lot of bailiwicks. There are full-on Trumpers, much like Eileen Cannon, who doesn't give a damn about Supreme Court precedent, about any precedent. They'll just figure out a way to throw it.
I just, with Canada, I do not understand how you get all the way through law school and emerge with absolutely no respect for the rule of law. I don't understand how it can happen.
Well, her politics are more informative of her character.
Apparently.
Obviously, I think. Hey, Bree is saying, and I noted it too, Bree, we are now 2 subscribers away from that 1,000 subscriber mark. I got 998. So,
I'll get my host to each sign up.
Your who? Oh, okay.
My host.
Oh, your friend? Okay. Have her sign up.
And her husband.
And there's 2.
Yeah.
We'll get them. When I talk to you tomorrow, we'll have 1,000. And Bree, you can relax. Yes. Speaking of not relaxing though, and I see what time it is, damn it. But I just want to throw this out here. The new thing I'm now anxious about, which has nothing to do with politics, is mosquitoes.
Oh yeah, they can kill you in a variety of ways.
Jesus, God in heaven. I mean, so you got this, it's this thing in Massachusetts, this, truly deadly virus where towns are telling people stay indoors.
To stay inside. Yeah.
Why is it just mosquitoes there? Why wouldn't that come here? And then you have Anthony Fauci, Dr. Fauci, who was hospitalized for a week with West Nile virus, and was obviously very ill, or he wouldn't have been hospitalized. And then you've got this Mpox thing. I'm just saying.
Well, and also for all the areas that were inundated by the cicadas, you have oak mites who are always around, but you don't pay any attention to them because they aren't there in such great numbers. But all the cicada carcasses fed the oak mites with such bounty that in areas like Chicago, people are just covered with oak mite bites.
Well, I don't care about bites. I care about death. And apparently the Massachusetts deadly virus, even if it doesn't kill you, can incapacitate you. And it has an alarming 30% kill rate. That's worse than COVID. I'm just saying. And yike. And by the way, guys, this is on us as usual, because they say that what we've done to the planet and to weather has created the warming and the drenching, these rains we have, these 1,000-year floods, and all of this is creating longer and longer mosquito seasons, and there are such things. And yeah, the mosquitoes are in heaven. And they're, yeah, just saying. God.
Well, it's raining a lot in Santa Fe, and Santa Fe is a lot of desert in the mountains, and so everything's in bloom, and it's absolutely beautiful. But they don't usually have insects, and now they have insects because they come with the rain.
Well, that puts us in good stead here because we haven't had any for a long time. Okay, that's it. Suze, have a really, really, really good time. When you coming home?
Saturday.
When?
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. Oh, she got a nice long vacation.
I got a nice long one, and then I'm
Okay.
heading. I'm switching out the suitcase and heading back up to our mom.
Good. She'll be thrilled. And by the way,
Right.
yeah, say hi to Joan for me and Mitchell, and
I will.
And,
I will.
And yeah,
I will.
Continue having fun. Thanks for getting up so early. You can
I
go back to
will.
bed now.
Well, no problem. You know me. This was fine. Okay. Enjoy. Everybody have a wonderful day, and do something to get Harris elected today.
Indeed. Thanks, Suze.
And all the down ballot votes, too. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Yep. Let's do this thing. Seriously.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.